This is what Jerome Powell looked like yesterday. And this is what Powell looks like today.
You got to pump it up.
This is the first time in a long time that Jerome Powell has changed his tune. As a result, the S&P 500 is up 1.5% today, coming up to its all-time high. Bitcoin has bounced off of its low from yesterday, and Ethereum has hit prices that are just dollars away from its all-time high. The others, low-cap altcoin index is up almost 7%. The total 3, the high-cap altcoin index is up 5.5%, and the total crypto market cap is up 5.5% today alone. The sentiment in the crypto market saw one of the most dramatic back-to-back changes I've ever seen. Yesterday, it was complete despair. People were so upset. And now it's almost like we woke up in a different timeline, and it's everyone's happy today. Everyone's cheering today. Yesterday, almost everybody on social media was bearish. And then today they're just pretending as if they weren't bearish. It's pretty funny. Yesterday on Twitter, I was saying that sometimes it feels like I'm looking at completely different charts from everyone else. I'm looking at the chart. It's a parabolic trend for Bitcoin. It's a parabolic trend for Ethereum. It's all very bullish. Even yesterday, it looked really bullish on the weekly chart. When you look at the charts and the fact that we were sitting up here for Bitcoin, basically within this new all-time high zone, the S&P sitting inside of its new all-time high zone, going into the Jackson Hole speech, in hindsight, it's pretty obvious that the bigger players, the more sophisticated players, kind of knew that this was coming today. Otherwise, I think the prices would have been further down before the speech. And needless to say, Bitcoin is still in its parabolic trend. We are coming up on what could be the vertical point of the trend, where for multiple months, we surge to a much higher price target. My guess is somewhere in between 140, 150,000. Could be more, could be less. Some people say that's not bullish enough. Some people think that price target is too high. But one thing I never hear is people saying that my price target is just right, which makes me think it probably will be. Now, this textbook also is showing a straight line down afterward. I don't think that's how it's going to go. I think Bitcoin is most likely going to end up hitting a very high target and then actually hanging out at higher levels, and a long distribution pattern will play out into next year. Oftentimes, the price will hang out at higher levels and sort of fool you into thinking that it's going to go higher. But that's good for the altcoins, right? When Bitcoin is sitting at a high, like in 2021, when we first got up to the 60K range and we went sideways right here, that was one of the most bullish moments for the altcoins. What we see today across the board is that all the top altcoins are seeing 5, 10, 15% gains across the board. And this alt season index from blockchaincenter.net is showing that we're not even truly at alt season yet. We're getting close. We're nearing a breakout. The alt season is coming. It's coming very, very quick. You're going to see a lot of altcoins pumping 10, 50, 100, even 1,000% gains are on the horizon for a lot of altcoins. And if you're an active trader that's entering and exiting the market, buying and selling a lot, well, you should be saving money on your fees. And with BloFin, you could be saving 20% on every trade that you make. 20% of your fees get deposited back into your account in the form of USDT. Every time that you're trading, you're getting money back, which for some of you guys could equal thousands upon thousands of dollars. And also, speaking of alt season, BloFin has every single altcoin listing you could really imagine. And they also list altcoins faster than every exchange. They're faster at listing new altcoins than Binance. They're faster at listing new altcoins than Bybit. They have the fastest listing speed of any exchange that I've seen. And it's very easy to sign up. There's no KYC. If you need to, use a VPN and you'll be ready to go just like that. Ethereum's trend has picked up very rapidly, about to break the all-time high. Really, really close, could happen at any moment, right? By the time this video is posted, Ethereum might have already broken its all-time high. Now the Ethereum weekly chart is now entering the overbought zone. And most people get this wrong. Most people think that overbought equals bad or equals a bearish or something. And that is really not the case at all. If you look at the past cycles here, this is 2021, as Ethereum entered the overbought zone on a breakout, specifically overbought on a breakout, that's very, very bullish. and usually you stay overbought for months. November 2020, we break this resistance into the overbought zone and we go ballistic. You can go back to other cycles, go back to 2017 when Ethereum broke this range high. Early on, from 2016 to 2017, we broke the range high and we entered overbought and we went absolutely ballistic in price. So entering overbought on a breakout is very bullish. And what are we doing right now? Well, Ethereum is coming up to its all-time high zone from 2021, 4,800. On most exchanges, could be 4,850 or 4,900. Regardless, we're nearly about to break the all-time high into the overbought zone. That is a classic signal for the start of the most bullish part of the run is this exact setup. We've seen it in every cycle, and it's happening right now in front of our eyes. Now, looking at Ethereum on the weekly, with all the way going back to 2017. And in the last cycle, if you take a fib, your Fibonacci tool from high to low, the last cycle we reached the 1414 fib, a direct touch. And if you fib again from the last 2021 high to the low, what we see is that the 1414 fib is sitting at 9,880. And if we mark up a horizontal line on that price level and then go to linear scale, right, there's a lot of room for Ethereum to run and see some really, really nice price action from this point. Now, that is just the previous cycle comparison. This cycle could be different. Maybe the target is much higher, maybe it's much lower, but this just gives you a good idea on where we're looking to head in this cycle. And now the next question becomes, when are the altcoins, the low cap coins, going to start to see their run, their exponential run? And to understand this, if you look at Bitcoin on the top here, and then you look at Ethereum on the bottom, and you look at when did they break their all-time highs, we can mark up a vertical line for Bitcoin and a vertical line for Ethereum when it actually broke its all-time high. In 2021, Bitcoin broke 20,000, hit 42,000, pulled back, and then had a second all-time high break, sending it above 42,000. That second all-time high break is when Ethereum broke its all-time high. Bitcoin has already fulfilled the second all-time high break. So if we see Ethereum break its all-time high soon, it would actually be pretty similar to the last cycle. Looking at the current cycle, Bitcoin had its all-time high break during the election, and then it had its second all-time high break, you could say arguably in July, when we pumped up towards 120,000. Right, this one where we clearly pushed above it, and this one where we clearly pushed above the all-time high. So two all-time high breaks, and now Ethereum looking to break out. The only concern would be how long it took to get here, but we'll see what happens. We'll see how the cycle plays out. So what does this mean for the low cap altcoins? Well, we have Ethereum on the top and the others chart, the others index, which is the lower cap altcoin index. Others is on the bottom, Ethereum is on the top. Now, this is the clear difference here. While we can draw comparisons and similarities to Bitcoin Ethereum breakouts, the others chart, the low cap altcoins, in the last cycle, they broke their all-time high pretty much right alongside Ethereum. There wasn't all that much of a difference there between Ethereum and the others all-time high break. So in this cycle, there is a clear difference, at least in terms of in this regard. The low cap altcoins have been suffering because of Fed policy, but obviously today that has changed. There is a high likelihood that we see a quickening, something really fast move for the low caps to new highs could be coming in the very near future. A pump that takes place quicker than most people expect. That's what I think is going to happen for a lot of these low caps. But the one thing that it does require is an Ethereum all-time high. In the last cycle, Ethereum all-time high is what sent the low caps to the moon. And that is what we're looking for now. Once Ethereum breaks that all-time high, I think very quickly these low cap coins are going to swing back up with a lot of velocity, with a slight delay, of course, because Ethereum's right there right now, and the low cap altcoins are still a little bit further away down here, right? But I think we'll get the move pretty soon for both of these. Looking at the top coin list on CoinGecko, Bitcoin's up almost 4%, Ethereum's up almost 13%, XRP is up almost 6%, BNB 6%, Solana 8%, Dogecoin 10%, Cardano 7%, Chainlink 8%. So all the utility coins are finally starting to get the volume that they deserve in this cycle. And it seems like we're going to have a really, really epic next few months as Bitcoin goes into its vertical stage of the cycle, guys. This cycle so far has been pretty boring other than Bitcoin, but I think that's about to change. So a very exciting moment here in the crypto markets. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely smash the like and subscribe. And a quick reminder, you could be saving 20%. You can't find offers like this that often in the crypto market, so take advantage of this while it's here. Easy to sign up, email, no KYC, use a VPN, and you're good to go. And I'll see you all in the next video.